is this visible? Whatever
Yes, sir.
my desktop is that visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what about the screen now?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay, right. So we were looking at x of t is equal to sine square t. So sine square t, you can write sine square t as 1 minus cos 2t by 2. So as before, this first part you can call as x1t, and the second part you can call as x2t. Now, what is the periodicity of x1t? It's something that we had looked at yesterday also. This is the DC component. x1t, what is the periodicity of x1t? What is the periodicity of x1t? Let me ask this question to someone. Ajay, you can answer that. x1t periodic ആണ്. x1t എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു DC component ആണ്. നമ്മൾ ഇന്നലെ പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ periodicityയുടെ ഒരു concept എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് you require x of t plus capital T to be equal to x of t. So for a DC component, you see that the DC component is constant throughout. It does not change at all, right? So which means for several values of capital T, which means for all values of capital T, it's going to be constant. So you say that this kind of a sequence is an arbitrary periodic sequence. You see that periodicity is arbitrary. You cannot say that it is not periodic. You can maybe just say that the periodicity for a DC component is not defined. Okay, so what this will do is it will shift the minus cosine wave upwards by a DC component. So you had a minus cosine wave of frequency 2, and this minus cosine wave of frequency 2 is shifted upward by a DC component. I hope that is okay. So what you have essentially is a minus cosine wave. So this is your minus cosine wave. So this is your minus cosine wave, and this minus cosine wave is shifted upwards by 1 by 2. So since it is shifted upwards by 1 by 2, this is your signal that you have. Say minus cosine wave is shifted upwards by 1 by 2. So it should be touching here. So this value is equal to 1. And the frequency is 2. The frequency is 2. Now the frequency is double that of the previous year. So now you are asked to find out whether this signal is periodic. So obviously the signal is periodic, right? Because after one period you get the same value, so the signal is periodic. Now to find out the periodicity of the signal, so what is the periodicity of the signal? 2 pi by t is equal to 2 pi by omega naught, 2 pi by omega 0, which is equal to 2 in this case. So t is equal to 2 pi by 2, which is equal to pi seconds. So period is equal to pi seconds. So that's a fairly straightforward question. So let us move on to another question. Find out the periodicity of x of t is equal to e raised to j into pi by 2t minus 1. So this again is fairly straightforward because you only need to expand this as e raised to j pi by 2 into t into e raised to minus j, right? E raised to minus j, which is your constant. So this you can treat as a constant. So there is no variable here. There is no independent variable here. So therefore this part is a constant. So you only need to check whether this is periodic. And you know that the periodicity of this can be, this part is equal to omega 0 by, so t0 is equal to omega 0 by 2 pi, which is equal to pi by 4 by 2 pi is equal to, sorry, periodicity, I should have, t0 is equal to 2 pi by omega 0. I mixed up another question with this. So 2 pi by omega 0. What is 2 pi by omega 0? 2 pi by omega 0 would be 2 pi by, what is omega 0? Pi by 2. So 2 pi by 2 would be equal to 4. So this is the periodicity. So if we were looking at a discrete sequence, which is similar, so let us write a discrete sequence like this, e raised to j pi by 4 n minus 1. How will you proceed? So this again you can expand as equal to e raised to minus j into e raised to j pi by 4 n. So this part is a constant. So you only need to check whether this is periodic. So you have to check whether this is periodic. So which means you have to evaluate what is omega 0 by 2 pi, which in this case you get as equal to 1 by 8. So which means this is rational and therefore the signal sequence is periodic and the periodicity n is equal to, so n0 is equal to 2 pi by omega 0, which is equal to 8. Okay. So we will move on to some more questions regarding the periodicity of sequences. So in general, so let me ask you one question here. So you will require this when we discuss the discuss higher problems. So say for example, we have seen that the area under a function is evaluated like this. So integral minus infinity to f of plus infinity f of t dt is actually equal to the area under a function. Now, please note that when we talk about an area, so we are looking at an area which can be both positive and negative. So that is somewhat unique. So you are looking at signed area. So area can be positive and negative. For example, when the function takes positive values, you say the area is positive. And when the function takes negative values, you say the area is negative. So here the area is negative. So what is the total area from this point to this point? Alfin, Benil?
Yes, sir.
What is the total area from 0 to t?
See integral 0 to t f of t dt.
F of t dt. What is that value here? I told you that the area can go both positive and negative.
0.
So total area is 0, right? So that is important. So integral minus infinity to plus infinity. So in this case, so let us consider that this is only the sinusoid. I have drawn only one part of the sinusoid. Integral minus or integral t0 to t0. So this is t0 sine omega naught t dt or integral minus 0 to t0 sine omega naught t dt, or you can even look at any period of any period over any starting point instead of 0. Maybe I can start from minus t0 by 2 to plus t0 by 2. So you're essentially looking at one period sine omega 0 t. What is that equal to? This is equal to 0. So this is what you have found out. Integral minus t0 by 2 to plus t0 by 2 sine omega 0 t dt is equal to 0. So please understand that the area under the function, as we discussed for an integral, can go both positive and negative. Okay, so this is a very important concept. We will require this to prove the next result. So now we will move on to checking whether signals are energy signals or power signals. Now, if you have a periodic signal, so let us think of a periodic signal x of t. And we had also mentioned that in the second module onwards, we might represent x of t if it is periodic as x tilde of t. So if you have a periodic signal x tilde of t, then we can show that the total average power, which is defined for any x of t as limit t tending to infinity 1 by t integral minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 of modulus of x of t the whole square dt. So this is the total average power, expression for total average power can be evaluated as. So this can be computed as 1 by t0 integral minus t0 by 2 to plus t0 by 2 modulus of x of t the whole square dt. So this is a very important result. Now we set about to prove this result. Okay. I will just rub the first section out. So for any periodic signal x of t, you can write total average power as 1 by t0 integral minus t0 by 2 to plus t0 by 2 modulus of x of t whole square. So now the proof for this is very easily done. So you can take t as an integer multiple of capital T0. So we'll take t as integer multiple of, so t and is, sorry, t as in this limit expression. So limit t tending to infinity, we will take t as some integer multiple of the fundamental period. So integer multiple of t0. So that is t is equal to k into t0. And instead of saying t is tending to infinity, it is just enough to say that implies that k tends to infinity, right? K tends to infinity. So since t is taken as an integer multiple of t0, you can take t tending to infinity will also mean that k tends to infinity. So just rub this out. So the expression for total average power therefore can be written as. So this can be rewritten like this. Limit k tending to infinity 1 by k t0 into, so you have an integral from minus t by 2 to plus t by 2. So that is from k minus, that is minus k t0 by 2 to plus k t0 by 2. So since the signal is periodic, so if you take the area under the function from, let us say, 0 to t, so that will be the same area as the same area under the function from t to 2t. That will be the same area under the function from, let us say, mt to m plus 1t. So you can take any value. So essentially what you have here will be limit k tending to infinity 1 by k t0 into k times the area under one period. So that is minus t0 by 2 to plus t0 by 2 modulus of x of t the whole square dt. Right? So therefore we can cancel k and k, and this becomes just, so limit k tending to infinity 1 by k t0 to t0 into k into integral minus t0 by 2 to plus t0 by 2 modulus of x of t whole square dt. So if I put k is equal to infinity here, so this becomes infinity by infinity. You apply L'Hospital's rule, so the numerator becomes 1 the denominator becomes T0. So this is equal to the result. Therefore, if I put K is equal to infinity and apply L'Hospital's rule, applying L'Hospital's rule, I can get this as equal to 1 by T0 into integral minus T0 by 2 to plus T0 by 2 modulus of x of t whole square dt. So that is a very important result. This gives you the result that the total average power for any periodic signal can be evaluated as 1 by T0 integral minus T0 by 2 to plus T0 by 2 modulus of x of t whole square dt. So what does that give you? This means that if a signal x of t is a periodic signal, then the total average power of the signal will be finite. This you can evaluate in this manner. If it is periodic, it will be finite. The total average power will be finite. So what does that make the signal? Will a periodic signal be an energy signal or a power signal? Shyam Joseph, class in Andallo. So please unmute your mic and answer this question. Shyam Joseph. Shyam, class in Andallo. Shall I mark Shyam Joseph as absent? Okay, Ajay, please inform Shyam that I am going to mark him as absent.
Okay, sir.
Vivek Saji, please unmute.
Yes, sir.
Vivek, very good. So please answer.
Yes, sir.
So please answer.
Sir, sir, signal, power signal.
Right. So a periodic signal will be a power signal. Why? So a periodic signal will be a power signal. Why?
Sir, it's TAP is infinite and TAP is finite.
Right.
Total average power is finite.
Total average
A finite
power is
value.
finite. Right. Energy will be infinite. Energy will be
Infinite.
infinite. Right. So let us move on. So this means that the total average power.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, how did that K come there?
Okay. So I will draw a figure and explain. So that will be easy. Let us look at some periodic signal. I will draw a cosine wave to illustrate this. So pardon my drawing. So this is going up to plus infinity, and this is going up to minus infinity. This is your, let us assume that this is your signal x of t. And I am going to look at one period. So this is from minus T0 by 2, and this is plus T0 by 2. So this is one period. Okay. So now, if I say t takes values from minus infinity to plus infinity. T takes values from minus infinity to plus infinity. Now, you know that this is a periodic signal. So since it's a periodic signal, how many cycles will be there? The question was asked by whom? Jerry.
Me, sir.
Jerry. Okay,
Yeah.
so now how many cycles will be there in a periodic signal? How many cycles will be there in a periodic signal? There will be infinity cycles, right? So that
Infinite
is
cycles,
periodic signal. So that is why it is
Yeah.
called a periodic signal. So when you have infinity cycles, I can take the total interval. So the total interval t is from minus infinity to plus infinity. So what was that? So you had let that limit t tending to infinity, limit t tending to infinity, 1 by t, integral minus t by 2 to plus t by 2. So this was our integral. So the rest is, okay, so this is your rest. So modulus of x of t whole squared dt. So when t takes values minus t by 2 to plus t by 2, since I have infinity cycles, it is equivalent to saying that I will take t as an integer multiple of one period, right? So when t is tending to minus infinity, that will mean that k is tending to minus infinity. Jerry, is it okay? And when t is tending to plus infinity, you can say that k is tending to plus infinity. Say, for example, you are looking at the infinitive cycle here, and you are looking at the minus infinitive cycle here on the left hand side. So when t takes the entire range from minus infinity to plus infinity, since I have taken t to be an integer multiple of the fundamental period, when t tends to plus infinity, k tends to plus infinity. When t tends to minus infinity, k tends to minus infinity. Is that okay? Jerry?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so now
yeah.
okay, what was in doubt regarding, was it regarding the next step?
No, sir. Continue.
Okay, so when you say that limit t tends to plus infinity, so just rewrite this in terms of k. So when t tends to plus infinity, this I can write in terms of limit k tending to plus infinity of, so here instead of t I will write 1 by kt0. So t tending to infinity will mean that k into t0 is tending to infinity. And you have integral minus t by 2 to plus t by 2, again, which I can write as minus kt0 by 2 to plus kt0 by 2. So you are essentially looking at the area under the cycle over area under the signal over several cycles. So area under the signal for 2 cycles would be twice the area under the signal for 1 cycle. So therefore I can take this as into k times integral. So 1 cycle would be minus t0 by 2 to plus t0 by 2 modulus of x of t whole square dt. So you have an expression here. This will evaluate to some constant because this is the area under the function. So here k is tending to infinity. So if I put infinity here, this would be infinity by infinity. So you have to apply L'Hospital's rule. So when you apply L'Hospital's rule, the numerator becomes 1. Derivative of this becomes 1. Derivative of kt0 becomes t0, which means this reduces to 1 by t0 integral minus t0 by 2 to plus t0 by 2 modulus of x of t whole square dt. So this is the total average power of a periodic signal, right? Total average power of a periodic signal. So which, as we had already discussed, this makes the periodic signal, any periodic signal will be there for a power signal because the total average power is finite. I hope that is okay, Jerry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will try out a few questions to check whether the given signal is a energy signal or a power signal. So let us start with a simple question now. So x of t is equal to e raised to minus at into u of t for a greater than 0. So we'll take a to be greater than 0. So example, e raised to minus, let us say 2t into u of t. If a is less than 0, then the story is different. So you will take a to be greater than 0. The function is e raised to minus 8 into u of t. So let us try to find out whether this is an energy signal or a power signal. So first of all, Let us plot that signal. See, plotting the signal itself will give you some insight into the properties of the signal. So this is e raised to minus 80 into u of t. So this exists only towards one side, and the value at t equal to 0 is e raised to minus a into 0. So that is equal to 1. E raised to 0 is equal to 1. And it reaches 0 at plus infinity. So it exponentially reduces. But it never actually reaches 0. It will reach 0 only at infinity, right? So now let us try to find out the energy of the signal. So looking at this signal itself should give you some intuition regarding whether it's an energy signal or a power signal. Anyhow, definitely it's not going to be a power signal because you are going to divide some energy divided by the total time. So that should be 0. So total average power is equal to 0. So let us see whether the energy is finite, whether you can find out the expression for the energy. So energy you can find as integral minus infinity to plus infinity modulus of x of t the whole square dt. So that gives your energy, which you can write in this case as integral. So u of t in the you are removing the negative part. So this is integral 0 to infinity. So what remains is e raised to minus at the whole square. So modulus of e raised to minus at the whole square is e raised to minus 2at. This is a real signal. So modulus, instead of modulus, you can just square the signal. E raised to minus 2at into dt. Because the unit step excludes the negative side of the signal. So this you can evaluate as e raised to minus 2at by minus 2a, and this evaluates to e raised to minus 2at by minus 2a. I can take 1 by minus 2 outside, and this will evaluate to 1 by 2a. So this you can do by yourself. So Jerry, what will be the nature of the signal? Will it be an energy signal or a power signal?
Energy signal.
Energy signal. This is an energy signal. Total average power is definitely 0 because you have to divide the energy divided by the total time. So 1 by 2a divided by infinity would be equal to 0. We will move on to a periodic signal now. So let us look at x of t is equal to a cos omega naught t plus theta. No, there is no need to discuss whether it's an energy signal or a power signal. So you can give me the answer, Jerry. So what is this kind of a signal? Is it energy or power?
Power signal.
It's a power signal. So let us try to find out the total average power for the signal. So the question is to find out the total average power for this signal. So certain textbooks might call this total average power as the power of the signal. But we will continue to use the term total average power. So total average power you can evaluate as 1 by T0 because it's a periodic signal. Integral 0 to T0. So minus T0 by 2 to plus T0 by 2, I can, instead of that, I can write as 0 to T0 because I am evaluating over one period of modulus of x of t the whole squared becomes a squared cos squared omega naught t plus theta dt. A squared cos squared omega naught t plus theta dt. So we will represent this cos squared in terms of 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. So this you can write as equal to, I will take a squared outside. So a squared by T0. So T0 I will write as 2 pi by omega naught. So I will write this as a squared into omega 0 by 2 pi. And I will put the limits of the integral in terms of omega naught. So that is known to you. So that I can write in terms of the frequency as 0 to 2 pi by omega 0 into, here I can expand this as 1 by 2 into 1 plus cos 2 omega naught t plus 2 theta dt, right? So I'll take this 1 by 2 outside, and therefore I can write this as a squared by 4 pi, a squared omega 0 by 4 pi, integral 0 to 2 pi by omega 0, 1 plus cos omega naught t by cos 2 omega naught t plus 2 theta dt. Now, let us try to evaluate this integral. So, this is the total area under the function 1 plus cos 2 omega naught t plus 2 theta dt. So, let us look at what is the frequency now. So, frequency is twice the original frequency here. So, here you had omega 0. So, within this integral, you have this term 2 omega 0, right? So, you are, say, if previously the period was omega 0, to draw only the positive part. Now, when the frequency is twice the frequency, this is the signal having twice the frequency. So there was only one cycle. There was only one cycle, and here there are two cycles. So what is the area under the function for one period? So you are evaluating the area under the function for one period. So 0 to t0. So this is 0 and this is t0. So what is the area under cos 2 omega naught t plus 2 theta over 0 to t0? I'll ask this question to Alvin. Alvin Vinel.
Sir,
Total area എത്രയായിരിക്കും?
0.
The total area under the function is equal to 0. So even if I start with an arbitrary phase of 2 theta, if I am looking at the total area under two cycles of cos 2 omega naught t plus 2 theta, the total area will be equal to 0, right? Alvin?
Sir.
Okay, so which means I only need to evaluate this a squared omega 0 by 4 pi into integral 0 to 2 pi by omega 0 of 1 dt. Is that okay? Because the second term vanishes by 0. So this you can write as a squared omega 0 by 4 pi, and 1 dt is t. So t within limits 0 to 2 pi by omega 0. So this evaluates to a squared by 2. A squared by 2. So the total average power, so this is a very important result. The total average power of a sinusoid you can evaluate to a squared by 2. Total average power of a sinusoid. So this is irrespective of the value of theta. The total average power of a sinusoid is equal to a squared by 2. So this is a very important result, where a being the amplitude of the signal. So the total average power of sine omega naught t is therefore equal to 1 by 2. Total average power of cos omega naught t is equal to 1 by 2. The total average power of sine omega naught t plus pi by 6 is equal to 1 by 2. So that's a very important result. Okay, so therefore you can evaluate the total average power of any sinusoid that evaluates to 1 by 2. Okay, so let us move on to another question. Let us compute the total. Let us check whether the following signal is a energy signal or a power signal. So till what time is the first hour? Ajay, ഒന്ന് പറയാമോ?
Sir, first hour 9:10 വരെ, second hour 9:50 വരെ.
9:50. Okay, so in which case I think we can stop now. because the next teacher will be waiting for that. What I will do is I will record a lecture and upload onto your course page, so you can look at the other workout examples so that I can start with systems in the next session. Will that be okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can